Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Sheff United match reaction on the Sheff United way. Now, we've just gone and beaten Blackburn 2-0. Oh, and we might as well have done that. Cheers, lads. It was, for me, probably the easiest away game of the season, if not easiest game of the season. Like, I'm not saying that the Blades didn't play really, really well, which we did. But Blackburn were hopeless in this game. They came forward a few times, but just weren't enough. And the amount of times that we've been to Blackburn in recent years and not get a sniff, I can't remember what happened last year, but I just feel like we just always go to Blackburn and always get hammered. It might be just because of that one time when Brereton Diaz and Cadra and Dolan and etc. Absolutely had us on toast. Let me just have a little look. So the last time we played Blackburn away from home, we just lost 1-0. I'm trying to remember what happened. A really early goal. Can't remember it, in all honesty. It finished 1-0. They scored after 5 minutes. Not really sure. But obviously before that, that's the one that's sticking in the memory banks. That was... Where is it? I need to show a few more. Where is it? 3-1. There we go. 3-1. Before that, can't remember the last time we actually won. 2-0. We won in 2018. In October 2018, we won 2-0. And we've won 2-0 again today, which is great to see. And like I say, we just keep getting hammered by Blackburn at Ewood Park. So it's nice to see us go there, dominate the game from start to finish. I think they had a couple of little not half chances, but little half spells, if you like. But practically, they didn't dominate us for 10 minutes at any point in this game. And that's usually what you should do when you're at home. And Dirk came on this channel to speak to, to give his preview to the match preview, obviously, that Hal did the other day. And he was wondering whether Blackburn were in a false position where they were, because I think they were 6th before a game was kicked today, before a ball was kicked, should I say. They're 8th at the moment, and I think that's because Watford and Norwich have both, added 1 point to the board, even though it's still 0-0 currently, so it's obviously a live table. So currently, Blackburn are 8th, but they were 6th before the game, and they didn't look like they were 6th, did they? Let's be honest, they didn't look like they were 6th in the slightest. I think the Blade just, like I say, dominated for most of the game, and it's good to see, because we've not finished teams off for most of this season, in my opinion. And really, we were never in that much of a problem. Let me 14th minute. It was the 16th minute, sorry. 16th minute, Harrison Burrows gives us the lead. And from the 16th minute, I wasn't worried. There was one chance that Blackburn had in the first half that they didn't convert that I thought was struggling a little bit here. But obviously scoring a goal really early on in the 16th minute, never looking really like we're going to concede, and then scoring to make it 2-0 in the 64th. It was plain sailing all the way through. We could have won this game 4-5, 6-0 with all the chances, and not so much chances. A lot were half chances, where the keeper made a really good save or it just flashed past the post. They had none of that. I don't think they had a shot on target in the full game, in all honesty. 9 goal attempts, 0 on target. We had 9 shots on target and they had 0, and they were at home. I think that really shows how simple this was for us today. They had 50% of the ball possession as well. I think that just shows that we weren't worried about them in the slightest. So yeah, sorry if any Blackburn fans are watching this to try and make themselves feel better. You were bad. You were really bad. And the Blades were really good. So cheers to that. Anyway, let's get on into... Before the game, I was a little bit worried, and I put a tweet out there, and I've got hammered for it. And people tend to look at things like that after the fact. And before the game, lots and lots of people were agreeing with me. Why is Harmer not starting? And Campbell's just scored against Stoke. He'll be absolutely buzzing for this game, and then he's put on the bench. I think I was also thinking about Jezza and Raksaki, where he scores 2 goals and then left out against Leeds. It felt like that happened again for Tyrese Campbell. So that was my rationale, my thinking behind why I was moaning about those two not playing. Obviously, in the end, we didn't need them. Didn't need them in the slightest. Well, we needed Campbell to score that second goal to calm us down. But yeah, we didn't need him. We dominated the game without him. So it was good to see. It was really good to see. Vinny Souza, what a player. What a player. Vinny Souza was incredible, immense from start to finish today. Every time one of their players got the ball and looked like they were running at us directly and going for the jugular, he would just sprint back, come across, shoulder him out of the way, take the ball off him. Oh, it's just great to see. As I put on Twitter, he's a cheat code in this division, an absolute cheat code. And it's great to see him after what happened last season with him obviously not being very happy with not being picked in the Brazil squad after not being particularly great last season in the Premier League. The redemption arc has arced. It's fully arced. It's super arced, shall we say. It was fantastic again today. That could be 2 man of the match performances in a row for me. But yeah, a lot of people on Twitter saying Kiefer Moore deserved it, and Kiefer Moore was brilliant today. I want more of that from Kiefer Moore for the rest of the season. I'm sure Chris Wilder does too, because Kiefer Moore has struggled a little bit this season. He's not held the ball up as well as what he probably would have hoped to. He's not got the goals that he probably would have hoped to have had by now, especially with all the possession and the fact that most of our midfield have been chipping in with the goals, and it's been less about the attack. But no, he had a great game today, held the ball up superbly well. He was involved in everything, just starting stuff, being the creator, having shots. He did everything today, and it was great to see. We'll go through some of those things in a second, but yeah, it was nice to see the Blades. And actually, I'm not going to talk too much about this happened and that happened and stuff, because I'm just buzzing that we've won the game today at Ewood Park. Like I said, it's not often where you go away to Ewood Park to Blackburn Rovers and you just turn them over really, really simply. So yeah, very, very happy about today's game. Very happy that we've won this game. And yeah, even though I had a bit of a moan about those two players not playing, genuinely don't care. As long as we win the game of football, don't care who scores, don't care who assists. People were saying this to me a couple of seasons ago when I was hating on McBurney. I was never hating on him. I was just criticising his performances. And then when he'd score a goal, someone would be like, oh, I bet you're gutted that McBurney scored. Why would I be gutted that McBurney scored? I don't care. I support every single player that's on that pitch for Sheffield United. And like I say, don't care who scores. It would be nice to see Brewster get a goal. But you can't have everything, can you? We've won 2-0 today, and I'm buzzing. I'm really, really buzzing. So let's start talking about how the first goal came about in the 16th minute. Jezza and Raksaki brings it forward. It was a weird sort of build up to this goal. So he brings it forward. I think he lays it into our blaster. There's a couple of little passes and shots from him and Souza, and it all kind of bobbles around. It bobbles aplenty. And then I think O'Hare gets a touch on it. The defender kind of controls it and then just tries to bash it out of play, out wide. And he doesn't know Burrows is stood there waiting for said moment to happen. Burrows takes a touch and absolutely rifles it into the bottom corner. Now, that is what I was expecting from Burrows this season. Obviously, we've seen all the highlight reel of Harrison Burrows, and we've seen him score free kicks. We've seen him score goals from distance. We've seen him score goals not from distance. We've seen him create fantastic goals with brilliant crosses and free kicks. And we've not quite seen all of that yet. And hopefully that gives him a little bit more confidence going forward, because he had a free kick at the weekend that we ended up scoring from, but it was a bit of a poor effort. He had another one today that was a bit of a poor effort. He kept going, well, at the weekend, and then today he went for a free kick low down to the keeper's side, and he's done that twice, and it's just hit a defender both times. I just want to see him kind of lift that over the wall and into the corner like the traditional free kicks from that sort of range for a left footer, because he's definitely got it in the locker. But yeah, we're not talking about that. We're talking about that fantastic goal and seeing it from behind the goal, sort of right behind him as well, or in front of him, should we say. It was a perfect angle to see that goal from, because it was almost an impossible angle. And he found that bottom corner. The keeper, I don't know if he could have done better. I've not really watched it from the keeper's point of view because I'm a Blade, obviously. But what a finish. What a finish from Burrows. Really happy for the lad. Great to see him get on the score sheet for the Blades as well. He did one in pre-season as well that was a fantastic free kick that I don't know whether the keeper pushed it onto the post or it just hit the post and it landed to an L's feet in the 6-yard box. Fantastic free kick from distance. I think that was against Huddersfield, if I'm not mistaken. So we want to see more goals and assists from Harrison Burrows, and that certainly helped today. It really did, and it was great to see. It really was. Then we get more playing the ball through to Jezza and Raksake. He almost gives it him back. He holds onto it, waits and waits and waits, and then flicks it through to Kiefer Moore. Again, like I said earlier on, Kiefer Moore, he's starting these moves and then he's assisting stuff, shall we say. He gets it on the right-hand side. He picks the perfect pass into Callum O'Hare. Unfortunately, Callum O'Hare goes to steer the ball on target or into the net, shall we say, and it gets blocked. It's a very, very good block. Great move from the Blades. That's what we want to see. That really quick turnover, get the ball into our quick players like Jezza and Raksake, get him committing defenders, because he had 2 defenders being committed there, and he flicks the ball back to Kiefer Moore. It's really, really good football, and we're unfortunate not to go 2-0 up at that point. In the 33rd minute, this could have changed the game for me. An absolute gilt-edged chance for Blackburn. They play some really, really good football up top. They've got some really nice footballers. Just not really got that cutting edge, but they're playing between them. Let me just have a look what his name is so I don't butcher it and I don't get hammered. Ohashe. There we go. Ohashe and Cantwell link up really well. The ball comes across the box. It looks like Suter is just going to knock this away, out for a throw-in, out for anywhere, to anyone, anywhere. But it goes underneath his studs, and I think it catches the Blackburn player out a little bit, and he can't get the right connection on the ball to put the ball in the back of the net. But it's a gilt-edged chance. It's a massive, massive chance for Blackburn, and that would have got them back in this game. And I think they'd have been a lot better if they'd have gone 1-0. I think that kind of lost all hope for them, because after that they didn't really create anything. But we go into half-time, and I'm thinking the Blades have bossed this game. Bossed it, even though the stats may not suggest so in regards to ball possession, because we had 44 to their 56, but 7 goal attempts. They had 4. We had 1 on target, which is obviously the goal. They had 0 on target. I still feel like even with those, the expected goals for us is a lot better. The ball possession isn't quite as good. But I never felt worried at all in that first half, other than that one small chance, massive chance. But we go into the second half, and this is where the Blades just create chances at will. And our expected goals in the second half is 1.28. We have 42% possession, but I think that's after I think it was the 56th minute when Campbell scores. 64th minute, miles off. 64th minute, I think after that, they had a lot of the ball, didn't do a hell of a lot with it. But you kind of tend to see that, don't you? When teams are 2 goals at least in front, they kind of sit back and don't want to get any injuries, anything silly, don't want to make any sloppy mistakes. Like I said, though, earlier in this video, we could have won this game 4, 5, maybe even 6-0. We really could. We were that much better than them. And I like Blackburn. I've got nothing against them, but they were really poor in this game, and we were just superior in every sense of the word. In the 47th minute, Arblaster takes a free kick on the right-hand side as we're attacking. I would have liked to have seen Burrows on that one, swinging the ball into the box. I thought that was going to happen. And obviously with him buzzing from scoring that goal, he could have even had a go on goal, but I thought he'd have put it into that corridor of uncertainty towards the back post and seeing who wants to get a goal. But it was Arblaster. He puts the ball into a perfect area for Kiefer Moore to attack, heads the ball towards the goal. The keeper pushes it over the bar. Pretty routine save for the keeper, even though it was a good save. It was a really good header, really good save, really good cross, really good across the board. Just not good enough for us to score a goal from it. In the 55th minute, Campbell plays it into Burrows. It's a fantastic cross to the back post to Kiefer Moore. He heads it sort of a cross/at goal, but it's headed off the line by the Blackburn defender. Very, very good header off the line. I'm not sure if this is going in the back of the net or whether he's heading this back across for a Blades player to come in, because there was someone at the back stick sprinting in there to get the final touch. But really good header. Keeper was beaten. Like I say, whether that was going in or not, I'm not too sure. But then we score, like I said, in the 64th minute. Kiefer Moore just absolutely bounces off a Blackburn player, or should I say a Blackburn player bounces off Kiefer Moore. It's a bit of both, really, but it feels like a bit of an eliminate die moment from season before last, where he just bounces off players, but he keeps going. So, like, he's not necessarily been the bouncer, he's the bouncee, but because his agility is so good, he managed to bounce off people and then keep going, whereas the players couldn't. And Kiefer Moore, they just bounce off each other, and Kiefer Moore manages to get to the ball first. He's got the ball down the left-hand side, pretends to cross it with his left, turns it onto his right, lays it into Tyrese Campbell. It's a half-decent shot from Campbell. I would have liked to have seen him hit the back of the net from the first attempt on his left foot, on his favoured left foot. Hits it straight at the goalkeeper, but the second chance, there is no way anybody is stopping that. I think it's sort of like on the half volley, and he smashes that ball past the goalkeeper, past the defender on the line, and we go 2-0 up. We had loads more shots after that as well. Burrows had a few attempts, one that whistled past the post. I think there was another one in there that I've forgotten about. Harmer had one that went into row double Z, but he also had one with the outside of the foot that tried to catch the goalkeeper out, which the goalkeeper was equal to. Tyrese Campbell laid the ball into Moore behind the defender. He has a shot at the front post, could easily have just snuck in, but the keeper makes a really, really good save. The keeper had a really good game today, in all honesty. That's practically all she wrote for the chances, if I'm not mistaken. Kiefer Moore had a bit of a bloody year, and Vinny Souza was the victim of GBH or ABH or whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure the difference between them both, to be honest. I've watched a lot of these police shows and stuff. I still don't know what the difference is between grievous bodily harm and an actual bodily harm, but we're not talking about that. But he did get a bit of a whack. I don't know whether it was his head or whether the player was leading with his arm. It looked like he was leading with his arm. I didn't think that could do as much damage as what a head did, because it looked like Souza was in some pain at that point. It could have been a red. It was given as a yellow, but not bothered anymore. As long as Souza's okay, and it certainly looked like he was okay after that. So, yeah, that's all we've got. Well, that's all I'm going to say about that game. Let's get into some of the comments, because it was a great game to watch as a Blades fan. It was probably very, very disappointing as a Blackburn fan, but yeah, the Blades bossed it today. Scrappy first half, but still the better side. Dominant in the second. Great to see that kind of away performance after the last couple get in. I was so worried about today's game. I thought we were going to get turned over, but again, I think it's just about the fact that Blackburn Rovers have done us 2 on the bounce at Ewood Park, and especially that one a few years ago where they hammered us. I don't like us going to Ewood Park. Clean sheet, 3 points. Great watch along with Chad while in work, going for a few beverages, hopefully to round off Pigs and Leeds losing. That would be nice, wouldn't it? That would be nice. Where are the more haters now? Oh, JD, you let yourself down there, mate. No, I don't like this. Like, you should be allowed to criticize players without it getting personal and being called a hater. And don't get me wrong, there's probably a lot of people out there that do use players as scapegoats. I've seen it loads of times before. But let's just celebrate the fact that Kiefer Moore's had a fantastic game today. And yeah, let's not get on to people too much. We're all blades, aren't we? Commentator, Cooper should have been made to pay for his ticket, being a spectator all afternoon. Oh my God, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that, but that's fantastic because it's so true. It really is. I said to my dad earlier on, like, Cooper must be gutted that he's come to us because we've got such a good defense in front of us. The only time he needs to make any saves is when our defense has been breached, which is very rarely. And if it has been breached, it's probably a one-on-one or it's probably a tap-in. He's probably not got much chance of anything. Whereas, like, keepers in the past that we've had have worried me. And I'm talking about Gerbich, and I'm a little bit talking about Wes as well. Adam Davis, clearly. But Cooper never worries me. Never. And we might get that at some point. But Cooper has just never worried me since he's come in. Great performance from the Blades. Great battling all over the pitch. Vinny, the battle cruiser. I love that. I love that. Blackburn, yes. Blackburn strikers didn't even get a sniff of Cooper's cologne. I love that too. Cracking game from Moore. Campbell beginning to click. Oh yeah, he really was. Like, he looks like the striker that I've seen montages of. He looks like that striker that you see in the highlights from on YouTube these days. And that's good to see. It's just him getting his confidence back and getting his fitness and getting that first touch. And it's nice to see. Is someone going to bring Super Cooper a deck chair? Wow. Wow. Do you know what? If you'd have shown me these comments before the game and said, this is what we're going to be saying after the game, I wouldn't have believed you. Good win, Vinny. Amazing. Again, Souza would have been man of the match, but that man, Kiefer Moore, was outstanding. He really was. Like I said, he just did everything. He did everything today. It was great to see from him. Brilliant away win. How did Gay stay on the pitch with blatant elbow on Vinny? There we go. Time to get a cat home shirt. I still think you can get them without that on the front. Like, I've got one. I think you can still get them. Today we dominated and should have won by more. We created a lot of good chances, which we haven't in some games. There was something different about today. We may look back on this game. Oh, Callum, the hairs are standing up on end. Like, what are you doing to me? You're making me believe. Great game. Campbell over Brewster for me in the next game. Also want to see Harmer back in the team. Yes. I said both those two things and I got hammered for it. If you hate United, stand up. If you hate United, stand up. Wow. Wait a second. So Wednesday currently playing and we've got people in the comments watching a Sheff United match reaction. You love to see it. You love to see it. Keep watching. Keep like the video as well if you must. Keep watching, Wednesday fans. I love it. Absolutely first class performance today. I felt that the Blades were only in third gear too. Fluid passing, really good in possession. Souza, my man of the match. Me too. But I can see why people would say Kiefer Moore too. Been working so haven't seen anything, but what a great result, and the stats look stunning. I think CW getting it right with players want to be in the team, then you got to produce. Too right, Paul, too right. My apologies to Mo, been slagging him lately, and he's proved me wrong. Feel sorry for Brewster. They were fouling him all game. Were you slagging him or were you critiquing a performance? Because there's two completely different things. And if you're saying that you're slagging him, you're probably slagging him. Yeah, Moore worked his socks off today. Too right. Afternoon Nick played to more strengths today and he lost market for those of the game. marker. He lost his marker for most of the game. The referee was a disgrace too. That ref should have never ref a game again. Absolute pathetic, disgraceful performance. Clueless from Brick Top. Wow, okay. My last moan, can you tell the Yank to take the Sunderland scarf down? It's a United show. What? I don't know what's going on here. Let me know. Let me know what you're talking about. I couldn't tell if Blackburn were poor or if we were great. I think it were both. And you're saying, how were they eighth? How were they sixth? They were sixth before a ball was kicked in at 3 p.m. What do you think about Robinson get the armband back, Nick? I think, well, he has to get it back. Has to, because he's the club captain. So, yeah, I think his playing time will be few and far between this season unless one of the two giants gets injured. But he's got to be, if Wilder's going to give him the armband before the start of the season, he's got to be the captain when he's playing. In my opinion, he's got to. And we all know that Robinson will give absolutely everything for the cause. So I've got no qualms about that. I was always a little bit not unsure about Arblaster being the captain at such a young age. He's clearly proven that he's up to the task. I just think it's a lot to put on a young lad when we want him to. He's one of the best players. He really is. And Wilder said that last season, like, he's one of the best players. Or he might have said he's the best player, Arblaster. And I was like, it's a bit much to say that about a young lad in the Premier League when he's only played a few games. But Arblaster is one of our best players. So I'd rather him concentrate on his football than concentrate on being the leader of this team, because Jack Robinson certainly got those qualities. I'll be honest, don't shoot me. I think Arblaster had a below par performance today. Oh, I know. I'm sorry. But he did. He lost the ball so much, especially in I think it was the first half. I think he did it in both halves, to be honest. I still think he had a decent enough game. Better than what anyone else could have done in that position. But he did give the ball away a few times, and we're not used to seeing that from Arblaster. So I'd take that as a compliment. Like, you can't play your best game every single game. No doubt, best performance of the season, and more was terrific. Thank you, Steve Longden, for that, mate. Really appreciate you joining the stream. Ian Smith, too. Vinny was brilliant today, but how good does it feel to have a solid keeper for once? Yeah, you don't even need to worry, do you? Like, we bossed that game today, but you know that if anything's coming towards Cooper, he's stopping it quite comfortably, or he's catching it. I love to see a goalkeeper catch a ball. Ball comes across the box, catch it. Don't punch it, catch it. As long as you're confident to catch that ball, go and catch it. There's not enough catching in football these days. And I've said catching and catch way too much in the last 30 seconds. Jackie Longthroat came in and you would have noticed it. You wouldn't have noticed it. Was his first start in how many games and kept another clean sheet. Absolutely fair play. He was one of the people that I was worried about when we kicked off, because I know that we've got hammered by Blackburn a few times at Ewood Park. And especially, they've got a lot of pace, got a lot of trickery. And Jack Robinson, having not played 90 minutes in the league this season, it could have been easy for him to be a bit too much for him and a step too far. But it was great. It was great. And Suter was fantastic as well again today. His passing is fantastic. Moore was excellent. His work rate and passion for the cause is right up there. I think we're not talking about the centre-backs or the defenders really today, other than obviously Burrows, who scored the goal, or the first goal. I think we're not talking about them today because they didn't really cause us too many problems. It was a bit of a walk in the park for the defence today. So, and if we could have the rest of the season walks in the park and not talk about Suter and co, I would love to see that. Best away performance of the season for me, especially second half after Tyrese came on. Thought the ref was terrible throughout. Yeah, I did. What I would say, bring on the filth. The filth. I thought you were saying fifth because we were fifth in the league. We're not, are we? We are third in the league currently, and nobody can overtake us at the moment. We're actually second, but Leeds are winning currently. So if you're watching this after the fact, you'll already know if Leeds have won, lost, or drawn. but currently Leeds are 1-0 up in the second in the division. But we were second in the division. S6 slot. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for being so quick with that one, because I was certainly not on it. But what a fantastic game today to watch. I just really enjoyed it from start to finish. Never felt worried. Never kind of got out of my seat, which is what you want really from an away game. And just enjoyed the Blades dominating everything other than possession, but we don't care about that when we're quite clearly the better team. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for such an easy stream to do, easy game to watch, easy stream to do. And let's hope for more of these this season so that we can get, top two. I'd take second. I'd take second right now. But let's hope for more of those days in time to come. Thanks for watching. I'll see you very, very soon. Up the Blades. Ollie, ollie, ollie.